If you want me, if you insist, you're going to go this way. Welcome back, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. My first guest tonight is an Emmy Award-winning actor you know as Olivia Benson in Law and Order Special Victims Unit. She's now directed a documentary called My Mom Jayne. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Mariska Hargitay. Nice to see you again. Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
I've been happy here. I like the little baubles there.
It's
Very
a
nice.
little homage.
Jayne Mansfield.
Yes.
What, did she wear something like this?
She wore a dress just like this in Cannes at the Cannes Film Festival.
Okay, well then let's get straight into that.
Let's just go right in, guys.
For the uninitiated, Jayne Mansfield was your mother.
Yes.
And you've made a documentary about her called My Mom Jayne. Why now did you want to make a documentary after all these years about your mom?
You know, everyone asks me that, and I think that
I like to ask all the questions that people
have already asked.
Already asked, because you're all warmed up for them.
Yes.
Why did you direct this?
I think the reason I made this movie now is because I was ready to make it now.
Sure.
And in a way, I feel like I've been preparing my entire life to make it, but I was ready. And during COVID, we all had some downtime, and I found these boxes of fan letters that I'd received from fans that were all pertaining to my mom, whether they were, people that had met her or had a story to share with me, or a playbill or something special. And so I had the time to sit with each letter, and people had sent me things that were truly like a gift, because it felt like pieces of her. And so I said, I think I want to dig in here.
Were these people, fans, or were there some people who actually knew her?
No,
also?
they were people that actually knew her.
Oh, that's lovely.
One of the ones that was so meaningful and resonant for me is a couple, about 3 people who played the violin with her in high school.
Well, here's the thing that people may not know, I did not know about this, is that your mother was a gifted violinist. Here she is on the Ed Sullivan Show,
Yes.
this building right now. She is playing. This is in 1957, performing Vivaldi's Concerto No. 6 in A minor. How come I didn't know this about your mom?
Because when she came to Hollywood, they put her in a box. And that's what they did to many women in the 1950s. That's what happened in the time. And it's been such a joy to go on this, archaeological dig, really, about her. And it's been just an exquisite and rewarding and cathartic and extraordinary journey.
At a certain level, it must be extraordinarily painful for you, because how old were you when you lost your mother?
I was 3 and a half.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a clip here. Can you explain what we're about to see?
I think we're about to see part of the movie when I was talking about my baby book.
Okay, Jim.
After she passed away, a moment that's always stayed with me is when I found my baby book. All of my siblings had one, but when I looked through mine, it was practically empty. So, on top of having no memories, I think it just gave me a sense of more loss. It was like this little hole in my heart.
By facing the story of your mother and of your family, what did you learn about your mom that you didn't know?
So much, and the gift of the film has been a total reframing of the story, which there was just so much that I didn't know about her, so much that I assumed. And when you grow up and your mother is, a Hollywood icon and,
Right.
a sex symbol, bombshell and all this stuff, it's just a lot.
And difficult for a child because they're
Very
robbed.
difficult.
They're robbed of that especially if your parent is famous or if they die when they're very young. You're robbed of that ability for them to be human.
Yeah.
To actually see your role in the world through their own life.
Completely.
And they maintain their Olympian quality.
Yeah.
Were you able to pierce that with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so much. Thank you, so much. And she was somebody who was, one of the most photographed women of her time, and
like the most photographed woman of her time.
The most photographed woman.
Yeah.
And so it was this thing of like, who is this person behind the pose? Who is this person? And I was so hungry and yearning for the still moments, the private moments, the candid moments. And I was so lucky because through all the photos, but also as a person, a filmmaker and a documentarian, the biggest gift you can get is archival footage. And there was so much. There was so much archival footage. And again, it was like a gift that just fell out of the sky for me because I had no idea. So there were so many private moments. There was so much gold that had been really unmined. And I felt like it was just waiting for me.
Well, I know this premiered at Cannes last month, and that also that this is a series of photographs of your favorites, your mother. This is your mother, Jayne Mansfield, and your father, Mickey Hargitay, at the Cannes Film Festival in 1958. Look how happy she is.
Well, I'll tell you something, so I got into the Tribeca Film Festival, which was amazing, and I got in first. But there was just a little piece of my heart that was hoping and praying that it would get into the Cannes Film Festival. And I think the reason was because out of all the photos that I'd seen of her, and there are many, there was a sacredness and a joy and a happiness and a freedom of her in these photos from the Cannes Film Festival. And every time that I saw them, I would get like a hit. I think it was just a very happy, joyful time in her life. So I really wanted to bring her back there, and I got to. So it was.
Is Cannes fun? Did you have a good time there?
Yes, I had an amazing time. I think maybe better than most people because I brought my family. I brought my husband and my kids. So it turned into this amazing vacation. And so it was magnificent and so much fun.
Well, the documentary also reveals family secrets.
Yes.
Any hesitancy in doing that?
No.
Tell people some of the things that we learned.
Well, I want everyone to experience it.
Sure.
And so there are things, I'll say, that I've carried around for 30 years that were secrets that I never shared with anyone because I was afraid to and I didn't want to betray anyone. And so I carried it and I realized they weren't mine to carry. They weren't mine to hold. And I wanted to be free of that. And as we all know, the only way out is through. And so I feel about 1,000 pounds lighter.
I like that. Only way out is through.
It's true, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I can't wait for you to see it.
Speaking of family, here is with your Law and Order SVU family at Carnegie Hall on Friday. You feel the hometown love?
I felt the hometown love. I got to tell you, they all showed up. I was just upset because a couple of them, Ice and Kelly, didn't show up in time for the group photo, so I had to take singles of them. But I'm so close with my Law and Order family, and they were just, I was like lit up like a Christmas tree because they were all there in full force, and there was a lot of love.
Well, you guys will be back for your 27th season, which was already the longest running drama.
Well, yeah. I remember the first time I was here was for my 21st season.
Which was already the longest
Exactly.
running drama.
We talked about it being, longer than Gunsmoke, and now it's like, and she's back for her 38th season.
Exactly.
I'll be back for my 49th season.
Well, I hope so.
I'm not going anywhere soon.
So nice to see you.
Good.
Thank you for
God
being
bless.
here.
Thank you.
My Mom Jayne comes out June 27th on HBO and Max. Mariska Hargitay, everybody. Woo! We'll be right back with Senator Tammy Duckworth.